What if the night you thought was just about art suddenly turned into a global frenzy because of one man's unexpected presence? What if a gathering of creative minds in a glittering hall ended up being hijacked by a name that resonates across every continent? Taehyung of BTS. Could anyone have predicted that Paradise Art Night 2025, an event initially designed to celebrate contemporary expression, would erupt into a trending phenomenon worldwide just because of the magnetic arrival of one artist, whose presence alone shifts the temperature of an entire room? If you're here reading this, then pause for a moment, hit the like button, leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, because what you are about to uncover is not merely a piece of news, it's a narrative of electricity, emotion, and an unshakable truth about how Taehyung continues to rewrite the definition of influence in 2025. The moment Taehyung stepped into the venue of Paradise Art Night 2025, silence did not exist anymore. Whispers gave way to roars, and camera flashes created their own galaxy, reflecting the star who walked among them. Paradise Art Night had always been about celebrating modern art, about discovering stories told through colors, textures, and shapes, but this year, the story that transcended all canvases was written in real time by Taehyung himself. There was no official announcement of his attendance, no prepared red carpet walk, no press release to hint at what was to come. Instead, he appeared like a spark in the darkness, turning the event into something more than an exhibition. He turned it into a historic memory. Why did Taehyung trend so instantly and so forcefully? The answer lies not just in his global stardom but in the emotional gravity he carries wherever he goes. For fans who had waited months to catch even a glimpse of him after his recent quietness in the public eye, this sudden appearance felt like a reunion with someone they never truly stopped missing. For those who were simply guests at the event, it was an accidental brush with a legend whose artistry cannot be confined to music alone. The energy of the room shifted in seconds, and every platform across the world lit up with his name. Within minutes, #Taehyung at Paradise Art Night began climbing the charts, pushing aside political news, entertainment scandals, and even global sports updates. That is the kind of power Taehyung holds. He transforms moments into movements. There was also an undeniable element of surprise woven into the night. No one expected him, yet everyone knew what his presence meant. The paintings displayed behind him suddenly seemed to carry more life, more soul, as if his aura had seeped into the very colors adorning the gallery walls. Artists at the event, many of whom had worked years to display their visions, found themselves in awe not of a competitor, but of an ally, a man who embodies artistry in every gesture. Whether he is standing before a canvas or holding a microphone on stage, Taehyung did not overshadow the night, he amplified it, becoming both muse and masterpiece at once. And yet, the story goes deeper than the glamour of trending charts or glittering flashes. For Taehyung, this appearance carried undertones of his own personal narrative in 2025. After a series of transformations in his artistic journey, Paradise Art Night became a stage not for his music, but for his soul. It reminded the world that artistry knows no boundaries, that his essence cannot be contained by the label of idol alone. Fans online were quick to dissect his expressions, his fashion, his quiet but unshakable confidence, interpreting them as clues, as signs, as whispers of what he may reveal next. Could this appearance be a hint at an upcoming artistic collaboration? Was he here to silently declare that his next chapter would intertwine music, fashion, and visual arts in ways the world has never seen before? Emotions ran high. Some fans cried, overwhelmed by the proximity of their idol. Others recorded every second, knowing that no screen could ever capture the feeling of being there in person. The room became both intimate and infinite, with Taehyung's awe-binding strangers together, making them witnesses to something extraordinary. And perhaps that is the real reason the world could not stop talking about it, not because of what he said or did, but because of how he made everyone feel. So ask yourself, what does it truly mean when one person can dominate the headlines of global media simply by showing up? Is it fame? Is it charisma? Or is it something more profound? With Taehyung, the answer is always layered, always mysterious, always waiting for us to peel back and interpret. The aftermath of Paradise Art Night to Ota 5 has become almost as significant as the event itself. In the hours following Taehyung's appearance, social media platforms transformed into virtual museums curated by fans. Every photograph, every short video clip, every fan account became pieces of a larger puzzle that the world is desperate to solve. Did his gaze toward a particular painting hold a secret meaning? Was the subtle choice of his outfit a blend of muted sophistication and bold texture an intentional message of where his vision as an artist is heading? Even the way he lingered near certain works of art sparked conversations, with fans analysing whether those moments were coincidences or deliberate gestures of connection between his inner world and the art displayed. The frenzy did not stop at the venue. Journalists, cultural critics, and art commentators began weaving Taehyung into their narratives, noting how his presence blurred the line between celebrity culture and fine art. For years, people have spoken about Taehyung's ability to embody qualities soft yet powerful, mysterious yet approachable, grounded yet ethereal. At Paradise Art Night, those contrasts seem to merge into a singular truth. Taehyung is not just participating in art, he is becoming it. But perhaps the most emotional element came from the fans' testimonies. One attendee described how, when Taehyung entered, it felt like time folded, as if the outside world ceased to exist and only the glow of that moment remained. Another fan confessed that she had not expected to cry, but found herself overwhelmed when their eyes met across the crowded gallery. It wasn't about being starstruck, she said, it was about feeling understood. Even without words, these personal accounts painted a picture of intimacy woven into chaos, where the noise of cameras and the rush of online trends melted into something deeply human. And then there were the fans who weren't present physically but felt as though they were there through the streams, the hashtags, and the endless retelling of the night. In a world hyper-connected through digital platforms, Taehyung's magic didn't remain confined within the gallery walls. It spilled across time zones, igniting dawn conversations in Seoul, midnight debates in New York, and afternoon excitement in Paris. It became a global heartbeat, synchronized by one man's presence. Yet, lingering questions remain. Was this appearance a carefully calculated move or a spontaneous choice driven by his own artistic curiosity? Could it be that Taehyung is preparing to announce something monumental, an exhibition, a cross-medium project, or even a collaboration that will fuse his music with visual art? Or was it simply Taehyung being himself, wandering into the world of art because it is where he feels most alive? The beauty lies in not knowing. The beauty lies in the anticipation, in the quiet hunger that keeps fans refreshing their feeds, and holding on to the possibility that something greater is just around the corner. The night itself has already been immortalized, but the conversation it started is still unfolding. People are not only talking about what Taehyung did, but about what he represents. He has become a symbol of transition, a reminder that artistry is fluid, that fame can be redefined, that influence can be quiet yet unshakable. Paradise Art Night 2025 was not supposed to be about him, but somehow, without planning or force, he became its centerpiece. And maybe that is the greatest surprise of all. Taehyung doesn't need to announce his presence to dominate the narrative. He doesn't need a performance stage to own the spotlight. He doesn't even need words to leave people speechless. All he has to do is arrive, and the world shifts. As the night went on, whispers spread through the crowd like wildfire. Taehyung was not just casually present, he was engaged. Observers noted how he leaned in close to study certain pieces, his expression shifting from quiet curiosity to something resembling recognition, almost as if the canvas reflected a secret part of his soul. Some describe the way he paused for long moments, lost in thought, creating an aura of intimacy between himself and the art. Others swore that the artists themselves seemed more alive when he stopped by their works, as if his gaze gave new meaning to the effort they had poured into their creations. Fashion critics could not stop dissecting his look of the night, his choice of attire and ensemble blending timeless elegance with experimental flair was described as both subtle and revolutionary. The muted tone spoke of restraint, but the textures whispered of daring. Was this a deliberate metaphor for his own state of being? In 2025, a man grounded by experience yet hungry for reinvention. Fans believe so. They analyzed every stitch, every accessory, every silhouette, turning his outfit into a language, decoding it as if it were a poem written in fabric. But beyond style, beyond art, what truly made Taehyung's appearance unforgettable was the emotional aftermath it created. Social media feeds became oceans of emotion. One fan wrote, "When he looked at the art, it felt like he was looking at us." Another confessed, "I wasn't even there. But through the videos, I felt his calm energy washing over me." These confessions turned into a collective wave of connection, where strangers across the world found comfort in knowing that their hearts beat in unison for the same reason. Taehyung's quiet power. And then came the speculations. Was this night a subtle prologue to an announcement? Some fans pointed out that earlier this year, Taehyung had spoken briefly about wanting to explore new canvases of creativity. Could Paradise Art Night have been his first step into that exploration? Others wondered if he might be preparing a personal exhibition, where his photography, sketches, or even paintings could take center stage. The silence surrounding his sudden appearance only deepened the mystery, fueling theories that something monumental was brewing beneath the surface. Yet, amid all the speculation, there was also a raw, emotional truth. Paradise Art Night reminded everyone why Taehyung remains untouchable in the world of influence. His ability to ignite conversation without a single word, his power to move hearts without lifting a microphone. These are the qualities that separate him from the ordinary. He doesn't just attend events, he transforms them. He doesn't just trend, he creates cultural waves that ripple across borders, across time zones, across languages. By the end of the night, when Taehyung finally left the gallery, silence returned for a moment, like the pause after a storm. But it was not the silence of emptiness, it was the silence of awe, of realization, of people understanding they had been part of something far bigger than an art exhibition. They had witnessed history disguised as a casual evening. They had seen the living proof that artistry is not bound by medium, and they had felt the electricity of a presence that could turn a single step into a cultural revolution. And so the question lingers, what will Taehyung do next? Will he surprise the world again in another unannounced appearance? Will he finally reveal what fans believe he has been quietly creating behind closed doors? Or will he remain silent, letting the mystery grow until the world is aching for answers? Whatever the outcome, one thing is undeniable: Paradise Art Night 2025 has secured its place in history not just for art, but for the night when Taehyung reminded us all that sometimes the greatest masterpieces are alive, breathing, and walking among us. Was Taehyung's presence at Paradise Art Night 2025 a silent declaration of a new artistic chapter? Explore the emotional aftermath, the fashion, the fan reactions, and the mystery surrounding his unforgettable appearance.